I'm with Ron, the great wargamer, and I've asked him to give me his history view on miniature wargaming. So Ron, take it away.
Okay, even in the far mountains of Southwest Virginia, if you saw Last of the Mohegans, that's a type of area. I got a Fort Apache when I was 6, and wargamed with it all the time. Now, in that area, a lot of snow in the winter up in the mountains. So, read H.G. Wells. All his stuff, was fascinated that he could actually play games with them, and was wondering if there was anybody else in the world all those years that did such a thing. As college years came along and so forth, got familiar with a guy named Donald Featherstone and read his things. Something to do at JMU between basketball practice or something. But still didn't think there was a group of people like me that like to play games with these. And of course, I started with what I thought was the only scale there was, 54 millimeter, and never really got away from 54 millimeter. They're bigger, you can see them, you can tell what weapons they have, you can talk different poses and such. You can't do that with smaller scales. And in fact, when you get smaller and smaller and smaller, why don't you just go to a board game? And to me, wargaming is not whether you're commanding a corps, a division, a squad, a regiment, or individual. It's how many decisions in the game. 54 millimeter seems to work best if you're making decisions based on very tactical facts and figures, which, and I enjoy 54 more and more all the time. Of course, for many years, you didn't do 54 because they're plastic and they don't hold the paint. That's changed now. The 54s with the new paints, they're just as good as metal. And of course, 3D printing has helped everything. I've got a 3D printer here recently to make me some early war Italians in what I call the Great White Hunter hat helmet, which very picturesque. You don't get that with smaller scales. And that's one of the reasons that I think 54 will be more popular as time goes on, because we want to keep it to have fun. And fun leans more towards skirmish gaming if you can get a lot of decisions. Decisions is what matter, not if you're commanding a division or you're commanding a squad. It's how many decisions you're making and a clear, quick resolution of those decisions. If you have to go through a book and you have to do an angle and get a protractor out, I think it takes away a lot of the fun. And that's my thinking on why 54 millimeters is, to me, the true gaming skill.
Now, Ron, can I ask a question? Why do I see so many people now with not just the 15s and 28s, and I know 28s and 15s have been very popular, but now I'm seeing more and more videos of 6 millimeter. Why do you think that's taken hold so much? Because they're really, really small.
Well, this is a question. Once in a while you have to say, I have no freaking idea, because you can't even see. I can't even see a 6 millimeter figure. And if I'm going to go that small, I'm going to just go to a board game and so forth. It's whatever you enjoy, but the figures and the terrain are a big part of the game. If you have that small of figures, how can you put little trees and buildings and houses and rivers to make a difference? How you can make decisions based on terrain. But so I don't quite understand the fascination with really, really small figures. Even with 25s, you can always tell what weapons mostly they have. And of course, the mass effect on a large game, it looks really good. But when you get much smaller than 25s or 20, I feel maybe it's just as much fun to go to board games.
Thank you very much for this interview, Ron.